Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I was just driving around and listening to a little bit of music. Getting to the vlogging spirit. I've drank so much water that I have had to use the restroom about 1,000 times today. I am probably not gonna vlog for a really long time tonight. I keep on saying that and then I go like an hour. It was like 52 minutes and then I said, okay, I'm not gonna vlog very long tonight, I think. And it was like 2 hours. It was like short, just a couple, like 4 minutes short of 2 hours. And then I said, I'm not gonna vlog for a long time. And then it was like a minute or like an hour and 17 minutes. So I think tonight I may keep it short. I wanna finish my audiobook. I have an hour left of my audiobook and it is really, really good. I would highly recommend Conviction by Denise Mina. Mina? It's M-I-N-A. And it is a thriller, but not like scary. It's like, and there's like a road trip kind of thing at the, it's not a road trip. It's like, they're kind of like on the run. And, I mean, they are on the run. And, it's just really good. It's just really well done. It also has some deeper issues, and I really like the book, so I highly recommend it. By the way, if you are in the book club, Mel and I were just texting about this earlier because she had just sent out the announcement for the book club, which was supposed to be this Sunday at 4 p.m. For If You Tell by Greg Olson, which I think is what it's called. I always get the title wrong. But anyway, like I realized tonight, I was like, oh, it's Sebastian's birthday party this Sunday at 4 p.m. So I won't be doing the live stream this Sunday. So since the following Sunday is a Super Bowl, and we know people have like Super Bowl parties and things like that to go to. I think we're going to a Super Bowl party actually. She and I moved the live stream to the 9th. I was like, are you okay with that? And she was like, yeah, I'll change it on the Goodreads group. So we are over 2,000 members now in the book club. That's so crazy to me. The live streams, like, we don't get tons of people in there. We get, I mean, it's really not a lot of people at all. It's like 30 to 40. I think one of the reasons why is I do the live streams on You now. It's just easier to stay personal with the comments. It's very slow. There aren't hundreds of people over there. For some reason, people don't want to either download You Now or you can get on You Now from your computer. I mean, it's just as easy as YouTube. But I think that people are like, oh, I don't know this, how to do this. So they don't typically, a lot of them follow the live streams. But if I put it on YouTube, first of all, Mel and I can't both go on there because they've taken that, like, I think it was like, you could do like a Google Hangout and upload it to YouTube, but you can't do that anymore, I don't think. So, I can't remember when they stopped doing that. But anyway, and we also guest other people. So, we, yeah, so I've decided to keep it on You Now. It just goes a lot slower, and for me, it's easier to like moderate the comments that are coming up and be able to like read them. And it's usually only like the people that comment are the ones that like have read the book and are part of the book club or know about the cases or whatever. So it's nice. It's simple over there. I like You Now. You Now is a much easier live streaming platform than YouTube, but the reasons why I have been going on YouTube live on my main channel, my Peter Monn channel, is because it's just, I always say that, my main channel, and it's like, I guess I just mean like the channel that I think most people watch because it has the most subscribers and stuff, but I don't necessarily feel like that's my main channel. But it's because I know over there people will watch it because like they get on YouTube. It's real easy. All you have to do is go to my channel and I'm live streaming. I only keep my live streams up for like 12 to 24 hours, if even that. Sometimes I take them down like immediately after I have just gone live. And for several different reasons, it doesn't fit on my channel. So, I mean, I used to keep them up there, but I don't anymore. So when you're looking at it, it's like drama video, drama video, drama video, and then a live stream. And it just, to me, aesthetically, it is not pleasing. But I also think it's kind of like a treat for people that catch it like in the first 12 to 24 hours and have me on notifications and subscribe and things like that, that they can like watch it live, or they can come in and watch it like right afterwards, or within like the next 12 hours. I usually take it out within the first 12, after the first 12 hours. So it's kind of like a little, I don't know, incentive to subscribe and have my notifications on. But I usually say something about it on Twitter too. Like, I give enough advance warning that I'm going live. I like going live. I think it's fun. I mean, nothing real exciting happens in my live streams. I just kind of, you know, sit there and talk and flip fans and answer questions. But it's fun, you know. It's real just low-key. So anyway, Peter, how was your day? My day was okay today. I have been really tired all day today. I don't know if it's just this weather or what it is. I've just really been struggling being tired lately. I got up today and did some stuff around the house, and I didn't upload my vlog until later. I didn't start rendering it until later. Got some stuff done around the house, and then I had my massage this afternoon at 3, and I went and got my massage, which was fantastic. Yeah, it was really good. But I was telling Tanya, it was interesting because, like, I mean, I used to go to him for a long time, like years ago, like Alex and I and all of our friends went, and he's really, really good. But I had told him, I said, you know, I got this horrible Charlie horse, and so he was, like, real careful, and, like, he put, like a, what do you call it, like a heated washcloth over that area and stuff, and he was, like, doing stretches with it and stuff. But I think he was lighter on me today. I kind of like them. I don't like massages that are really, really hard, but I like them when they're hard enough that, like, I feel like I'm kind of getting worked out a little bit, if that makes sense, like my muscles. And he wasn't that hard today. And I was telling Tanya, I was like, that foot massage that we got the other day was almost better than the massage that I got today. She's like, I know, I'm kind of like that sometimes too. So next time I go, I'm going to have to just tell him that I want it a little bit harder. But it was wonderful nonetheless. And I was so tired, like, when I woke up. I mean, I woke up and I started just, like, you know, because I'd take the dogs out and stuff. And I'm just, like, so tired anyway. I just was dragging all day today. And then I got that massage, and that just made me even more tired. So I don't know. I'll turn the heat on. It's cold in here. It's not like freezing cold, it's just, whew. I turn my heat seat heater on, and my steering wheel heater on. And then after my massage, I went and got coffee, and then I came home. I feel like I did something after that. I don't remember. Oh, I went to the post office, and because I had a package waiting for me, and so picked that up, and then I came home and fed the dogs and did some stuff around the house and filmed videos. And Alex, he worked until, is tonight Thursday or Friday? He worked until 8 tonight, and then he stopped by Sarah's because he had to take her something, but he was only over there for like 15-20 minutes. He went to bed super early. He was up, he worked like 12 hours today. He had like meetings and stuff this morning, and then like he didn't get done till late. And so he came home and went right to bed. He was like in bed when I got home. Oh, I went and got a fountain pop with Tanya. Well, I didn't get a fountain pop. I got a bottle of water. She got a fountain pop, and we drove around and talked for a little while. Because I thought Alex would be over at Sarah's longer, but he wasn't. And so I came home, and he was in bed with the dogs, and he's like, I'm going to bed. And that was at like 10, and I was like 10 or 10:30, and I was like, okay. Well, it had to have been like right at, yeah, it was like right at 10:30, because I got home right about 10:30. So, I mean, while I was laying in bed with him, he turned the lights off, and I was like, I think I'm gonna lay down for like half an hour or an hour. And then I was laying there, and I just like really couldn't fall asleep, and I was like, no, you need to go, like, get up and go vlog and listen to your audiobook, and Because sometimes, like, when I lay there and I fall asleep, like, I sleep for 2 or 3 hours, and I think that's part of what why my sleep schedule is so messed up. And then when I go back to bed at late in the evenings, I can't fall asleep. Like, I'm up, you know, like, and I cannot fall asleep, and I think that's part of the problem. So going forward, I think that I need to, I mean, I love my naps so much, though. But if I took my naps earlier, I would still be able to fall asleep. But the problem is I mean, who takes a nap at 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night? Nobody, except for Peter Monn. Yeah, I need to get on some kind of sleep schedule. I've been saying that forever, haven't I? So now I'm vlogging. So it was really just not a super exciting day. It was okay. It wasn't great. But that was just, I mean, it wasn't bad. Nothing bad happened. It was just, you know, a day. And then tomorrow I have a recovery thing early in the afternoon. And then I want to make some videos. And Alex is supposed to have dinner with a friend tomorrow night, but he was like, this is like his friend that he was like really good friends with, like Jason, his friend that passed away, and her, like the three of them were like really good, really close. And I know her, I just don't know her really well. So they try to do dinner like once a month. They've tried to do that since Jason's passed away. So they have dinner tomorrow night, but I was asking him, we were going to go to dinner. He found a restaurant in Miami that he wants to get. It's a new reservation. It's a new restaurant he wants to get reservations for. I feel like, this is so funny since I was just talking about Denise Mina, but I feel like it's called Mina or Mira or something like that. M-I-R-A maybe? M-I-N-A? I don't know. But I didn't look at anything to do with the restaurant. He just literally sent me the clip, and he was like, oh, we should get reservations and go here because we like to try new restaurants when we go to Miami. So we may do that, and then, what else? Oh, so he has dinner plans tomorrow night, but he was like, yeah, we never really confirmed whether or not we were doing that, so he's like, we may just go to her house and get food and hang out there or something. He was like, or I may not end up doing it at all. So I was like, that's fine, that's cool, whatever. I'll probably actually do a live stream Friday night or Saturday night, one of those two. What else happened today? Anything exciting? I feel like something else happened, but nothing. What should I talk about? Oh my God, I said this the other night, if I ran out of things to talk, I mean, my vlog may end because Peter finally ran out of things to talk about. Can you believe it? I'm sure there are people out there that are like, no, I cannot believe that. Well, I said that, and then the next day it was a 2-hour vlog, and I was like, I love that at-home store. Do you guys ever go to that at-home store? I just walk around there, but then it's like real overwhelming to me. I feel like the only time I ever go there is to get a cushion for my glider out front. So I have this glider on my front patio because I wanted a front porch swing, like To Kill a Mockingbird years and years and years ago. And this apartment I lived in, I couldn't have like a swing, but I could have a glider. And so my mom bought me a glider for my birthday. You all know what a glider is. It looks like a swing, but it just kind of like it's on the metal. It's like lattice work. So it was green, and I spray painted it white. I don't know why. I think I did that once I moved into the condo. I think I spray painted it white. Or maybe I spray painted it white while I was living at that apartment. I don't remember. But anyway, I don't think so. I kind of remember spray painting it in the backyard, but I feel like that was, yeah, that would have had to have been when Alex and I were living in that house. This EMS guy literally just pulled right in front of me. So what was I saying? Oh, I always go there because I want to get a new like patio cushion out there because I sit out there all summer, you know, and like read books and like, you know, whatever, watch YouTube videos on my phone and all that kind of stuff. I used to watch TV shows out there, not TV shows, but like Netflix series and stuff like that on my iPad, but I don't have a working iPad anymore. Tanya got that Kindle Fire for Christmas, and I kind of think I might want that, but I don't know if I would use it. I had a Kindle, and then I didn't use that original Kindle whatsoever, and then I had a Kindle Fire, and I definitely didn't use that. I think I read like 2 books on it, but the Kindle Fires have, and it's so old now, like it would need to be like updated, or I would need to get like a new one or whatever, but the new Kindle Fires, they have like all the apps, they have like Netflix and everything on them, you know? So it'd be kind of cool to get one of those so I could watch like my shows and download stuff and whatever. Because I was asking Tanya, I was like, because you know I download movies when I travel, and then like I have them on my phone, and I was like, can you download movies like onto the Kindle Fire? She's like, well, I'm sure you can, I just don't know how to do it. So if I could figure out how to do that, I would do that. So then what else? So yeah, so I always go into that at home to find something like a, what do you call it, a cushion that fits the glider. But I literally can never find cushions that are the right size for the glider. They're always too long, or like just for a chair. They never fit. It's just the most bizarre thing. Or I don't like them, or they're too flimsy. Those are the things I deal with. Or they're the cushions that have like, where they're like for the back of the chair and then for the seat, and that's not what it's for. So I always struggle finding a cushion, or they're too much because like they're too thick. Those are usually for like the wicker, what do you call it, like love seats. But it, like, since it's a swing, if you're sitting there swinging, it falls out, like it comes out of the swing. So you need something that you can tie in the back. I very rarely can find them. So whenever I go to At Home, they always have 9 million cushions, but they never have what I'm looking for. And then I go through the whole store, and I'm like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like this. But by the time I'm done, I could have probably spent like $300 on it, and $3,000 at that At Home. So I just never get anything. I'm just like, leave. I'd rather get nothing than end up spending a couple $100s on stuff that I don't really need, you know? But I like that At Home store, and TJ Maxx Home. And then we have this place on the south side, and it's called, oh shoot, what is it called? It's huge, and everything is clearance. Tanya and I used to go there. Oh, what's it called? I want to say it's like the Marketplace, but that's not what it is called. Oh, I wish she was here. My cousin was so silly tonight. She was like, I was making videos, and she kept on texting me, and then she like FaceTimed me, and I was like, I'm getting ready to film videos, or I'm filming videos, and she was like, I want to be in one of your videos on a FaceTime. She was like, except I don't look very good tonight. I was like, Caroline, you're so silly. What is that place called on the south side? Now I can't think. Somebody from the south side of Indianapolis who probably watches my blog, which is crazy to me that people in Indianapolis watch my blog. If you are from Indianapolis and you watch my blog, will you comment below? Thank you. But if somebody's probably like, it's called this, it's called that. I can't believe I can't remember what it's called. When I got my very first office, I went there, and that's where I got everything for my office. Well, I got a few things from Pier 1. I got this bamboo rug from Pier 1, and it was like greatly on sale. It was like 60% off. That's what that place is like. It's kind of a mix between like TJ Maxx Home, At Home, and Pier 1. It's kind of like a mix of all those places, but like everything is like super cheap. And you can just walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. I can't remember. I remember the very first time we went there. We were like halfway through the store, and Tanya goes, okay, she started like going up to the front, and I go, are you done? And she goes, I need a break. And I go, what? And she goes, I need a break. And so she was like, I'm taking my cart up to the front. And so she was like, said to this woman that worked there, she's like, can you watch our carts if we go outside for a second? And she wanted to get a fountain pop to smoke a cigarette. I was like, we're taking a break while we were shopping. She looked at me like I was crazy. But we sure did. We took a break while we were shopping. What is that place called? I haven't been there in forever. We have a fountain on our patio. I had that in my office at one point too. And I've like slowly been bringing stuff home from my office, and I've slowly been getting rid of stuff that I don't want there. I'm like, I keep on thinking I'm going to turn it into a YouTube studio, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Somebody asked in my Q&A, they were like, why don't we ever see you at your office? And I'm like, because I'm literally never there. I need to get rid of it. I just think it would make such a great, like, place for, like, my review videos to, like, set up where, you know, I could put, like, a camera and a thing to have it, like, I mean, I have this idea of what I want to do with it, but I don't do it. Like, where I could set up, you know, in this one area, like an area where I could do, like, my meditation videos for my Peterisms channel, and then I could do my review videos in this other room, because there's, like, really a lot of light. It's just, like, overhead light is great, and, I mean, it's almost like a science lab in, you know, high school or college, and I want to, like, you know, set it up where the camera is, like, looking down, so if I'm opening something, you see my hands opening it. Do you know what I'm talking about? You see that a lot in review videos. And I, like, if I just went in there and set it up and got, like, some ring lights and, like, some, you know, box lights or whatever those things are called, then I could do that. I could have that, you know, be like a studio, and then I could go in there and write as well, and just be like, I mean, because Alex is like, if you did that, you could, like, get up and be like, okay, I'm going to work, and, you know, go into your office and do all this kind of stuff, but, like, well, I'm just lazy, I think is what it is. You know, I think we all know that by now, that I have all these ideas, and many of them come to fruition. You know, sometimes, like, in the past, I got criticized for being like, you never accomplish anything, whatever. I'm like, I have accomplished quite a bit in my life, you know? I've been sober for 25 years, I got my master's degree, you know, like, I wrote a book, I have 5 channels on YouTube, I've been, you know, married for 8 years, in a relationship for 11 years. You know, I've done a lot in my life, you know? And I'm always doing things, you know, behind the scenes too, that, like, I don't necessarily talk about on here. And, like, I'm really involved, you know, in recovery, and I'm really involved in some other things as well that I just don't talk about on here at all. And so I feel like I'm quite accomplished in my life. I feel like I feel like I've accomplished quite a few things, you know? And I mean, I think back about the days I was like, I was the editor-in-chief of my literary magazine in college for like 2 or 3 years. And, you know, I did probably 30 speaking engagements a year at one point. I'm in the wrong lane. How did I never know this before? Because I come through here all the time. This is it's turn only. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've done a lot of things. And I don't really beat myself up for that. That's not the kind of stuff I beat myself up for. I beat myself up for the things that, like, I want to do right now and I haven't done. Like, writing my next book. And I'm like, you just need to sit down and do it. But the thing is, in all honesty, like, I was working hard on my book for a while. I'd say, like, into summer, beginning of fall. I don't know when it was. There was a while there, like a month period, where I was writing quite a bit. Not tons, but enough. And, I mean, when I wrote my first book, like, it stopped. When I went into my first book, I mean, I went into it and I was like, okay, I'm getting this book done in a month. That's how it's going to be. I had the whole thing outlined. I knew what I was going to do. I went in, and I mean, every night I wrote. And I was like, okay, I'm going to write so many pages tonight. And I wrote that many pages every night. Like, I stuck to my schedule. And I can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very disciplined when I want to accomplish something like that. But the reality is, right now, I'm really enjoying life more making videos for YouTube and reading books, listening to audiobooks, and watching Netflix stuff, and just kind of enjoying my life. Like, I feel like so much of my life I've just been driven. And I think maybe this is why the other day I was like, God, I really feel like I'm lacking motivation. Because I think for me, there's no kind of, like, in between. It's either like, I feel like I'm completely driven and I'm completely accomplished, or I'm lacking motivation. Like, that's how I view it in my life. Like, I'm kind of, like, hard on myself about that. And the reality is, like, if I really wanted to write a book, I'd be writing a book. I mean, I know that, you know what I mean? Like, I have it in me. I know what there's 2 books I want to write. There's several fiction books I want to write, but there was a fiction book that I had started that I wanted to work on. And then there was a memoir that I wanted to start. And that was really the one that I was working on the fiction book, and I was like, I really feel pulled to do this memoir. And I don't know, like, the day I sit down, that was so weird. I was looking over at what is that restaurant? I was looking over there, and all of a sudden, like, every light just went out. It was so creepy. What is that? It's Fazoli's. The day that I sit down and at the computer, well, here's the other thing. I don't love writing on a MacBook. Like, I just don't. I like working on a MacBook as far as YouTube videos and stuff, but I don't like writing on it. So, I actually have this HP computer. Some of you probably remember me talking about it. It's the computer that I bought and wrote. It's like an HP notebook. It was super cheap. It was $179. I know, because there's a post-it on there that says $179 because I Googled to see how much it was. Because about a year and a half ago, I don't know, some of you probably remember this, a year ago, I bought that computer to write my next book on, because I so loved writing on that book. It was just such an easy keyboard. I just would save it every night, and it was just so easy to work with. I could take it everywhere. It was just, I didn't care if it got like hurt or anything, because it was just such a junk computer anyway, and I just loved it. I loved working on that, and that was actually how I started my YouTube career. I'm gonna do a review on that computer, and I started YouTube on that computer, so you don't need to have fancy equipment to start a YouTube channel. That's why when I tell people all the time, start a YouTube channel. I was actually watching Jessica Kent's video. I love her so much. Do you watch her? I did a collab with her. She and Christina Randall are just such salt of the earth. I love them so much. And, but Jessica Kent did a video on, like, I think she called it what I made off of a 1 million view video or something like that, or what YouTube paid me for 1 million views on a video or something like that. But that really wasn't what the video was about. That was probably only like 3 or 4 minutes of the video. The whole video was really about if you want to start YouTube, what you should do. And it was actually a really great video. I think she just put it up a couple weeks ago. And she says in there, like, you know, like camera or phones today, and she actually has this camera, which is so crazy, because when I met with her, she had just gotten her new camera. I can remember I looked at it and I was like totally jealous. I was like, oh my God, that is such a beautiful camera. And she did say in there that it has like H something, I don't know anything about cameras, but it has something in it. Well, what's funny is her really nice camera was the same price as this vlogging camera. And this is like the camera that like all YouTubers use. It's most YouTubers use it because it's really easy to handle and carry. And it's the Canon G7X Mark II. And it's like $550, $600. But it's really easy to use. And you don't really, editing software you can do in your phone. And she said in her video, she's like, you know, so many people ask me, like, what I need, like, you know, I need to buy this and I need to buy that. And she's like, you don't need ring lights. You can sit in front of your window. There are so many booktubers that to this day, like, their videos are such high quality and they literally sit in front of their window. They have no ring lights. They sit in front of their windows with natural light, which natural light sometimes is better than ring lights anyway. And they don't have box lights. I don't have box lights. All I have is a ring light. I used to have like the umbrella lights, but I don't use those anymore. And it just was a lot to set up and a lot. And I don't have a place where I can just leave it set up because I have to take it down every night. I don't know if people know that when I like am vlogging, you can kind of see that, but like there are things like behind my head that I have to take down. Back in the day, somebody had painted me a picture of Pee-Pee, and it would always sit like right behind my head behind that chair where I film, and I would have to take it down every single day to film, because if I didn't, then the camera would focus on that. Oh, that's what Jessica Kent said, that like with her camera that she has, dual action picture focus or something, like it always focuses on her, and the clarity of that camera is beautiful. So I may look at getting that camera. I don't know, I need to text her and see if she really likes it or not. because my cameras go in and out of focus, or my videos go in and out of focus all the time. And I also don't have a microphone, which I think would really help the quality of my videos. I think maybe this year, I'm not gonna ever start, obviously, you know, like editing or any, like a whole bunch or anything like that. But I do think that there's some upgrades I can do. And I think getting a nicer filming camera and a microphone would be two things that I can do. So I may do that this year. But I know this may sound stupid, but like even with the microphone, like I don't even know like how you use that. Like, do you have to take the audio separate and upload it? Like, I don't know anything about it, you know, or does it just bring the audio in from the microphone right into it? I don't know. So I'd have to like, I guess, have her show me or talk to her about it or whatever. Everything I've ever learned about YouTube or whatever, another YouTuber has helped me with, because I just didn't know. I mean, at the very beginning, I mean, I knew how to upload a video and stuff like that. It was pretty self-explanatory, but other stuff is, you know, hard. But anyway, but she says in there, you know, like you can, like cameras or phones have great cameras today. They have great, you know, editing software, which they do. Like a lot of people have iMovie on. I think I have iMovie on my phone. So, I mean, I think if you have an iPhone, you get iMovie on there. So you don't need to like edit all this stuff on, I think it takes a lot longer to do it on your phone, but you wouldn't have to, you know, and you could just do all that and then sit in front of the window. You don't need ring lights, and upload your videos to YouTube. And you can upload your videos to YouTube right from YouTube. So you don't have to have all that stuff. I remember watching this episode of Chrisley Knows Best with Todd Chrisley. Are they still around? Do they still have that show on? I watched it forever. I loved his mom, Faye. I loved all of them. I loved his wife, Julie. Anyway, Julie. I tweeted him one time, and I tweeted out one time, like, I love Chrisley Knows Best, but the fact that they act like it's a reality show and it's the most scripted show in the entire world, which if you've ever seen it, it is like entirely the most scripted show in the entire world. And he tweeted me back. I didn't even like, I don't think I added him or anything. I may have, I don't know. I don't even remember what I said now, but he like tweeted me back and he was like, I wish I could say it was scripted, but that's just our life. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like, all y'all do is just sit around all day long and talk about grandma coming to visit and why she shouldn't be going to the casino and then whatever. It's just, it's one of the most contrived reality shows I've ever seen. But I used to like it back in the day. It was real homey. I thought it was real sweet and nice. There was one too with Kim, and she was a pageant director. I can't remember I can't remember what her show was called. Kim something. But that reality show got canceled. I loved that reality show. And then, do you guys remember that show? I talked about this on here, and all these people underneath there were like, you're talking about 8 feet deep or something, 7 feet deep. I was like, 6 feet deep. 8 feet deep. I was like, no, it was a reality show, and it was on Bravo. And it was like one of the very first Bravo shows ever, I think. Maybe it was on TLC, but I'm almost positive it was on Bravo. But it was one of the very first like reality shows of that type back then. Because it was on at the same, it started at the same time when like Little People Big World started. Because I used to religiously watch Little People Big World. My ex and I watched that all the time. And, but then it just got real sad, and they got real bitter at each other, but they lived in the same property, and they were just in each other's houses all the time, just yelling and screaming at each other. It's just real sad. It's like that. I never watched that. John and Kate plus 8, I never watched that show. But like that whole situation, I mean, that was just so sad how that all went down. It's sad when those reality shows just kind of like fall apart like that, you know? Kim of Queens, that's what that show was called. And she was fantastic. I loved her. And she was a pageant director. It just, that was another show that was just like very sweet, very innocent. She was such a good pageant director too. She was so good. Oh, but the show that I watched, I don't remember what it was called. It was called like Family Affair, or Family Business. I think it might have been called Family Business. And it was about like all these brothers and sisters, and they're like dad and mom or whoever, and they all worked, like they owned a funeral home, and they all worked. This is a reality show. So when everybody comes to me and says this is 6 Feet Under, that was on HBO, I'm not talking about 6 Feet Under. I want to know what this show is called because I'd love to go back and watch it if I could find it anywhere. It was a reality show about a family that owned a funeral home. And like the one sister who I loved the most, she wore glasses. She actually was a dead ringer for my dad's nurse that was like, you know, part of our family and with us for like, you know, the one I talked about on here one day. They looked so much alike. And I should look it up. I should pull in somewhere and look it up, but I just don't have the energy to. I don't have the energy to look up something on Google. You know that's a problem. But anyway, she was like the cosmetologist. She's like the one that did the embalming and like prepared the bodies. And then like her brother and dad were like the ones that like, they met the families at the beginning and stuff. But like they would like, she would do the embalming and then she would like go to, you know, Subway or Kentucky Fried Chicken or some Popeyes or something and get like a, you know, bucket of chicken and they'd be sitting there eating it while she's like looking over at this body. I don't know why I loved that show so much. I felt so attached to that family. These reality shows that I get so attached to and then they stop like that. If you want to know what show is going to get canceled, just ask me because I start watching all these shows and then they get canceled. I get so into them and then they get canceled. I watch like one season and it's just like, it's over. And I'm like, I cannot believe I was so into that show. I watched that show a couple years ago because it was supposed to be, it was like being like taglined as like the next Fault in Our Stars kind of thing. And I love that book by John Green. It's one of my all-time favorite books of life. But it was called like the Red Band Society or something. And it was about these kids that were on this hospital unit. I literally watched every episode of that. I thought it was fantastic. And then it got canceled. And if a show gets canceled, I don't even really watch the end of it. Because I'm just like, well, what's the point now, you know? I'm trying to think of a show that I... looking on HBO about all the gay guys that were friends. That was so fantastic. Why did that show get canceled? Can somebody explain that to me? They put out a movie, and I have to say, like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's very much like, so Looking is very much like both seasons. I think it was 2 seasons, and then they did a movie finalizing it. It was such a good show. It was such a great show. And, because I thought it really showed like the real life of gay men and, you know, that it's not always about going out to clubs. And I think, you know, a lot of shows like Queer as Folk back in the day was like a really good show as far as I think at that time. But like a lot of friends of mine criticized the show because they would say, well, it just makes it look like every gay guy like lives for going out to gay bars on the weekends and clubs and taking off their shirt and going to the gym. Yeah, I mean, like, that is a truth within the gay community. I mean, it's not everybody's truth, but it's a huge part of the gay community. And I think to deny that is like, it's a huge part of the gay community. It just really is, you know? And I didn't fit into that group, so I always kind of like, I think to some level was just kind of like whatever. But now I'm just kind of like, yeah, just wait, I'm gonna fit into that level. I'm gonna fit into that group one of these days. Going to the gym every day. I mean, even when I was going to the gym every day, I didn't feel like I'd be wanting to take pictures of myself looking like that. Maybe someday I'll feel that confident in my body, but I always think about that book. If life is a game, these are the rules. If life were a game, if life is a game, these are the rules. I think it's by Dr. Cherie Scott. It's something Cherie Scott. I can't remember what her first name is. But anyway, like the first rule is, in life you are given a body. You can change it or you can accept it, but it is yours for life, so do what you want with it. I always think about that. It's like, I have one body. I need to just be happy with my body and do the best I can at changing it. It's so hard though sometimes. But anyway, a lot of people criticize that show Queer as Folk back in the day. I watched it. I didn't watch the entire series. I made it through, I would say, 3/4 of the series, and then it got real boring to me. And really, to be honest with you, one of my favorites was, what's her face? Tyne Daly, is that her name? Or is that the other one? Cagney and Lacey. My mother and I used to watch Cagney and Lacey back in the day. Y'all remember that show? I loved that show, Cagney and Lacey, so much. So I would watch it because of her. But I think it was it the other one? Was Tyne Daly Lacey? Well, whatever. One of them played the mother, the one guy's mother, who he was on like VH1 for a while, then afterwards. Whatever happened to any of those people that were in that show? I've never seen them in anything since. And then I just remember that one guy drove a Jeep Wrangler, and he like lived in that fantastic loft apartment. Do you guys remember that? Oh my God, it was so beautiful. And I don't know, I liked it. And then, you know, for a while, when my ex and I broke up, one of my really good friends at the time, like the third in our group with Tanya and I, she's a lesbian. And so I was going out with her and all her girlfriends at the time to lesbian bars. Oh my God, I had so much fun. Oh, that's 6 months of my life. I had so much fun. But like, we would get together on Friday nights at this one friend of ours that lived right by Tanya, and we would all go over there, and I used to call the house, her house, I would call it the L house, the L word house, because we would all I was like the only gay guy, and it was all these lesbians, and we would watch all of these, we would watch the L word, all of us. I never really loved that show, though, I have to tell you. It always just seemed so depressing to me. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just so depressing. What other gay shows have there been on TV? Well, I talked about Ellen, the sitcom. Well, she just was an out character on the show. I didn't love that show. I didn't love that. I didn't love it. I didn't like it. I'm like trying to still use the lip gloss that's in this, but the Manny MUA lip gloss, but I think it's dead. Well, RuPaul's Drag Race, which just got announced today. The next season, season 12, comes out. Does anybody do that with their lip gloss? Nobody. What am I doing? That's so stupid. That the next, you guys, there's literally nothing in this container, so I'm like, can you see? I mean, it's so empty. So I'm trying to like, keep on putting it on here. But anyway, I got a little bit on. The next season of RuPaul's Drag Race starts February 28th. I went and I looked at all the queens that are going to be on it. I don't know any of them. I usually know 3 or 4 of them because, you know, I followed like pageant systems forever. But I don't know anybody that's on RuPaul's Drag Race this year. Which is maybe a good thing because I'll go into it with no like preconceptions. Like, Alex always goes into it, and he doesn't know any of these people because he doesn't watch, like, the pageants and stuff like I do. I mean, I literally keep up with all of the drag pageants. I know all of them, you know, to this day. I still watch all of them. Miss Continental is my favorite. And, I'm trying to think of, like, who some of my favorite queens are that have been Miss Continentals. I have so many. But, I mean, Erica Andrews, hands down, is probably my all-time favorite, but she passed away several years ago. She was from San Antonio, Texas. I think she passed away in Indiana, which is really weird. She was like an hour from me when she passed away. Indiana, back in the day, was a huge drag city. We had the 21 Club here. They hosted, like, Miss Gay America. I mean, we had, like, national title holders from all different kinds of pageants here. Indiana's just not bad anymore. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm upset. What another show like that I watch is Dragula. Oh my God. I watched season 2 and season 3 on Netflix, and then I went back and I watched season 1 on YouTube, which I even thought season 1 was fantastically done. But I have to say, I almost kind of think that Dragula is better than RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, it's different. There are different kinds of queens. They're more like, I guess they're called spooky queens. I don't know if that's offensive or if that's, I don't know. So, educate me in the comment section below, but, they do like scarier makeup and things like that. More like kind of alternative makeup, I guess is what you would call it. I don't know. But I really, really like, Dragula. I guess another season doesn't come out until like September or around Halloween, which I'm like, Could you please put a season out now? I'm ready. My lid fell on the floor earlier when I was with Tanya, and I don't know where I put it. But I have another water right here. Tanya's been drinking her waters too. And she said today she was like, I ate so many fruits and vegetables today. She was like, I had cucumbers. She was telling me all about it. How did I get talking about TV shows to begin with? I don't ever know how I talk about anything on here, how I get from one subject to the next. Somebody commented on my Peter Monn video tonight, and they said, Peter, I love you, but have you ever been tested or diagnosed with ADD? Because it is really hard to follow, something like it's really hard to follow what you say, and you are all over the place, and I love you, but it's like having a conversation with a very selfish friend or something, like a one-sided friend or something like that. And I was like, you think? I'm all over the place. I can't even keep track of it. What was I talking about? I was talking about gay TV shows, but how did I even get into that? I was talking about looking. Somebody is texting me and I can't see who it is. Looking. Oh, Absolutely Fabulous. My friends and I used to watch back in the day too. Like every episode we would get together and watch. You know how like they do RuPaul's Drag Race now, and you can go to bars and you can watch it, and like some gay bar will have like RuPaul's Drag Race like every Thursday, if it's on Thursdays or whatever, you can watch it like at the same time in the bar. Like back in the day, that's how Absolutely Fabulous was. Like you could go, who is that texting me? Back in the day, you could go to bars and you could watch RuPaul's Drag Race, or not RuPaul's Drag Race, Absolutely Fabulous. I loved that show. That show got kind of depressing at the end too. Cagney and Lacey, I forgot all about that show. You know, okay, there are some shows I never talk about on here that I absolutely loved. Like, for a long time I never talked about Heart to Heart, and Heart to Heart was like a huge show for me when I was growing up. I loved that show. I wanted to be like them so bad. To just have all that money and one adventure after another. Oh, the camera's gonna stop, hold on. Okay. I mean, basically, let's think about the world that Peter lived in at that time, okay? My mother and my father were so completely supportive and loving of me, and so were my aunt and uncle and Caroline and everybody, my parents' friends. But outside of that, like, I really had no friends. I played by myself a lot. I mean, I would have a friend here and there, but very rarely. And at school was hell for me. I struggled academically, but I also struggled because of all the social stuff. I mean, people were not nice to me, right? So I really fell into movies and TV, but growing up, I have to say, like, I would watch movies with my mom, but I wasn't somebody that would, like, go and get a movie and, like, watch it. I mean, this was before the VCR. I mean, we didn't get a VCR until I was probably, we got it for my birthday one year, so like 12 or 13 maybe, I think. My mom and I went and bought it. We were real excited. We rented all these Alfred Hitchcock movies that night. It was real fun. But, I've told that story on here before, but anyway, before that we had a Betamax, but we didn't rent a lot of movies. We did, like on the weekends, but during the day. So my life was a lot of TV. You know, and I would watch like Heart to Heart, which was, if you don't know anything about it, I don't know who that is texting me, but they're literally texting me one thing after another. If you've never watched Heart to Heart, it's with this husband and wife, and why can't I think of what his name was? He was the husband or to the little girl, Natalie. This is how my mom would always explain her. Robert something. Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. But, and didn't she die or something in a drowning? It was real sad or something. I can't remember, but anyway. It was this husband and wife, and they were like billionaires. And then they had this like chauffeur slash butler. I can't remember what his name was. Ralph, maybe. and he was real funny. And then they had this dog, there's like an English sheepdog, and they were always getting themselves caught up. They were detectives, basically, and they always got themselves caught up in these adventures, and they'd always be staying in a hotel, and then somebody tried to break in, and it was always this kind of stuff, right? And I just thought it was so dreamy, you know, that they, like, had all this money, and, like, money, I thought, you know, watching all these TV shows, because that, back in the day, Love Boat, all those, you see people that had all this money, and money meant you could do anything, and then I go right into Fantasy Island. If you had enough money, you could create your own fantasy. But I think we've all seen that show enough to know that maybe what you think your fantasy you want it to be is not necessarily what your fantasy should be. I used to like that one, but they'd always do like 2 happy ones and one dark one. And it'd be like some guy that wanted to go back to being in, like, he was like in the military in Vietnam, and he wanted to go back, and I don't know, it was always just real sadly, and I didn't really get it anyway, because I was about 8, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't get it, I just loved it. So my mom and I, we would watch Love Boat, Fantasy Island, and the Newlywed Game. I think that, or Charlie's Angels and the Newlywed Game. I think that was 8, 9, 10, and then, no, the News, and then the Newlywed Game, and then after the Newlywed Game was Sammy Terry. And Sammy Terry was on from like 1 to 4, and he would show 2 movies, and that was on Channel 4, which was Bloomington, Indiana. I think the Newlywed Game was on that channel too. And Sammy Terry was this guy that dressed up kind of like Dracula. I think his son still does it, because Sammy Terry passed away. And he had this little spider, Igor, I think was his name, and he would like drop down. And so he was very much kind of like, not as refined, but very similar to, oh shoot, what's her name? Elvira. Cassandra, whatever her name is. I love her so much. Beautiful in person when I went to that Horror Hound weekend. So anyway, but he would like kind of like, he would like, you know, I was gonna say monitor, but he, you know, he would kind of like introduce the movie, and then it would be some like The Blob or something, some scary movie from back in the day. So that we would watch those, and then Heart to Heart. And then I feel like as I got older, I feel like these shows weren't on like when I was younger, but like as I got into like junior high, Cagney and Lacey was definitely one of my mom's favorites. When I was younger, Little House on the Prairie, Laverne and Shirley, We'll Do It Our Way. My mom and I would stand in the mirror and while I was brushing my teeth, and we would play Laverne and Shirley, and she always had to be Laverne and I wanted to be Shirley because I thought Shirley was prettier. And Little House on the Prairie, we watched all of those. I mean, I grew up on television, hands down. I didn't really watch 8 Is Enough to Make Our House a Home because I thought it was so boring. And I didn't really get it anyway. And that one sister I didn't like. Facts of Life, the oldest sister on 8 Is Enough, I didn't like her. And then Facts of Life, I love that. You take the good, you take the bad, you take it all, and then you have the Facts of Life. Mrs. Garrett, loved her so much. Wanted to be Blair. But I liked Tootie as well. Tootie was probably one of my all-time faves. And then I'm trying to think of the other shows I watched. Well, when I got into high school, Designing Women, I don't know when Golden Girls came out, but I watched Golden Girls a lot too. But Cagney and Lacey, and then I don't know if you guys remember the show. It was so fantastic. It was called The Equalizer, and I loved this show. I was obsessed with it. And it was about this guy, and he was like probably 60 or 55 in the show, and he always wore like a long black like trench coat. He had real short white hair, and he would like go and like somebody that had like done somebody else wrong, he would like flip the crime. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was called The Equalizer. Oh my god, I would love to own that show. But I own all these shows and I don't watch them on DVDs anyway, so I don't know why I would care to own that show. But anyway, it's really good, The Equalizer. I'm trying to think of all the shows that I actually own DVDs of. Love Boat. For a while, people were sending me seasons of that. I love Love Boat. Like, if you are in a down mood, turn on Love Boat. I should actually, and I haven't been really in a down mood except for missing pee-pee, but I should turn those on. Alex and I, for the longest time, like, we would put on an episode at night because he had never seen them. He had never seen the Love Boats, and they are so fantastic, aren't they? So maybe I'll start watching those again. But I have the entire Simple Life. I have all of the Absolutely Fabulouses. I have Love Boat, a majority of them. I want Designing Women. I don't. I have, what do you call it? Golden Girls, I don't have that. Oh, Anna Nicole. I have Anna Nicole, her series. The whole thing. I love that. Every episode, every season of Roseanne and all the Halloween ones. And, you know, it was interesting. Somebody was asking me the other day, they're like, you would still watch an episode of Roseanne? And I said, would. I just did. And they're like, you support her? And I said, no, I think, and you know, it's really interesting. Like, I don't know how she does this, but like, I think Roseanne Barr, the person, is a trash human being. I just don't like her. And, but Roseanne Connor on the TV show, I love her. And in my head, somehow, I can kind of separate it. And I think it's because I watched Roseanne, the show, for so long. And, you know, like, I don't know. I love that show. I learned a lot about life from Roseanne. You know, I learned a lot about talking to people and interacting with all kinds of people and stuff like that. I love that show. That show's Indiana. I mean, it really is. I mean, I know it takes place in Lanford, Illinois, but it's really kind of like how Illinois or Indiana is. And then, Popular, the other day, I said I have that. I have that whole series on there. I don't even know where that is, but I feel like I just saw it in a box somewhere in my basement. I did not know that was a Ryan Murphy show. I had no idea. I have the entire series, which is only 2 seasons, I think, of My So-Called Life. Oh my God, with Claire Danes. That might be one of the most perfect series ever. And let me tell you a little secret about this, okay? So I had to go in, and I'm sure now if you were to buy it, it would always be included. But back then, I don't know why they did this, but there was, out of the entire show, like wherever you bought it, if you went to a store and you bought like do I have it on DVD, or I think I have it on DVD, and I think I have it on, oh, this is why. So I bought it on VCR, and then I bought it on DVD. And the reason why, and I bought it on eBay on DVD, because, and it was like some Chinese edition or something like that. It came from way far away. And the reason I bought it was because my VCR edition, which was a set that you could buy, did not have the Halloween episode on it. Okay, I don't know why. Y'all know Halloween is my favorite holiday. But even more than that, the Halloween episode of My So-Called Life is probably one of the best episodes on the entire show, with the exception of when the parents go out of town for the weekend. I love that. I love that episode so much. And can I please talk about the mother? I can't even remember her name now, what her name was, but she had real short hair on the show, but like she was also in Jaws 3 at SeaWorld. Did you ever see that? She was in that show. She's like not the world's greatest actress, but on My So-Called Life, she was fantastic. And that she gets so drunk and she starts taking off her clothes. They sneak in alcohol. So it's her and her husband, and then her husband's brother and his new girlfriend, of which she doesn't want to like, but she ends up liking, and they go and they stay in this little bed and breakfast, but they're not allowed to have any alcohol there. Well, the brother's girlfriend sneaks alcohol in, or they go to town and they go on like this alcohol run, and she's like, I'm just gonna sit here and read a book, because she's like kind of prudish. She ends up getting so drunk at this restaurant. It is so funny. But anyway, that weekend, they all, I can't ever remember any of their characters' names. Ryan McGrath. Who's the guy that lived next door? I know people are shouting this at me. And the one friend, oh my God, it broke my heart when he had to like go to his teacher. What was Ricky and Rayanne McGrath. And then what's Claire Danes' name on the show? I swear to God, if I say that guy's name that was never on one episode, that Rayanne was always like, have you seen, what was his name? Have you seen, he was Jordan Catalano. That was Jared Leto's character. What was her name on the show? Oh my God, I cannot believe I cannot remember this. Rayanne, Ricky. Brian was the neighbor. Brian, what was his last name? Brian Krakow. How do I remember this? And I can't remember her name. Claire Danes' name. Her little sister's name. I can't remember her little sister's name either. I'm like literally going through my head. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then what was the friend with the red hair? She was actually later in this Lifetime made-for-TV movie called Her Last Chance, and she was Kelly Martin's best friend, and she swore she would quit drinking with her. It was about alcoholism and addiction. And then she ended up, like, getting real messed up at this party and falling down and hurting herself. What was her name in the show? Angela! Oh my God, I can't believe I just remembered. Claire Danes' name was Angela in the show. It was such a great show. You know something's effed up with your family, though. I mean, I love my parents, but let's just be for real, okay? I mean, my mom was, I mean, drinking all the time, and, you know, like, my dad, I'd go see him on the weekends, and, well, that show must have come out, that wouldn't have been when I was, like, in high school. I think that might have come out, like, the year I came out of high school. I wonder when that came out, because she and I are about the same age, Claire Danes. But, like, I saw my dad on weekends and evenings, you know, but it was, like, obviously we didn't have this, like, perfect family. And I can remember watching that show and just wishing that, like, I had parents like that, you know, that, like, lived together. I used to think, okay, and what's so sad about it is there's an episode when he takes his cooking class and the little sister thinks they're going to get divorced. But, you know, I started watching Dawson's Creek, too, and I loved Dawson's parents, and then they ended up getting divorced. I think his mom cheated on his dad or something. It was so horrible. It's like, oh my God. Oh, I watched Dawson's Creek forever, too. 90210, I watched the original, all the way till the very end. The Real World, the original one, with, like, Heather and all of them in New York City. I wonder what happened to all of them. I wonder where they're at today. The couple first seasons of Survivor, I know I didn't miss Survivor for years. What else shows did I watch back then? I was never a Friends person. I never loved Friends. But, like, everybody that I knew did. They all loved Friends. Alex loves Friends. Fufu loves Friends. His girlfriend loves Friends. Everybody that I know loves that show. I don't love that. I tried really hard to get into it, and then I was going to start watching it and watch all the seasons. And I just saw that they came out and they said it's being taken off of Netflix. Why? I don't know. So, Perkins, comfort food, comfortable prices. I haven't been to Perkins in forever, but they do have really good breakfast. But I'll tell you what is better. Well, I have to say Perkins has, like, really big sizes of plates if you're looking for quantity of food. But I have to tell you what's better is Cracker Barrel, hash brown casserole. So good. Covered and smothered. Do you guys remember when I started my channel, I used to go to Bob Evans all the time and have biscuits and gravy, sausage biscuits. I would call them sausage biscuits and gravy, and people thought that was so funny, and I didn't understand what I thought was funny about that. I mean, it is sausage biscuits and gravy, but it's really biscuits and sausage gravy is what it's called. People just call it biscuits and gravy. But do you guys remember I used to go to Bob Evans, like, literally all the time. Like, all the time I would go to Bob Evans. And I can remember I would go in there before I started filming my videos or after I filmed my videos, and I would get, like, if Alex had to work late, and I would get 2 orders of biscuits and gravy, sausage biscuits and gravy, and then I would get a large coffee. I feel like I got something else, too, with the hash browns. Home fries or hash browns. I don't remember what they have there. But you know what? I did a review of something from Bob Evans, like their cinnamon rolls around Halloween time, and, like, their hot chocolate. Maybe it was Christmas time, I don't remember. It feels like it was really warm outside when I did that one. I feel like I was like, this is not the day to be doing this. They had, like, a cinnamon bun, hot chocolate, and then they had cinnamon buns you could buy. I remember it being really good. Like, I haven't been there in forever. There's a lot of places I don't go to anymore since I'm a vegetarian. Chinese buffet, like with Arlena, that was, like, the very first time I had been since I had you know, been a vegetarian. There's just not a lot there for me. Although, at the one that Arlena took me to, there was a lot there. Eight is enough to make this house a home. What else did I watch? I don't remember. Like, if it came up, I would know it. Oh my God, Unsolved Mysteries. I watched every episode of Unsolved Mysteries back in the day. And, you know, recently I recorded a couple of them because they're not really on any, like, they're not on, like, I think there's like 4 on Amazon Prime. That's it. You can't see them anywhere else, which is so stupid. I mean, they ought to put them all up on Netflix, I think. But anyway, I loved Unsolved Mysteries back in the day. But I was like watching it, like I recorded a couple of them, and I could kind of remember back in the day, like I would watch the whole hour, because I would joke with Tanya, and I said, oh my God, we're going to end up on an episode of, you know, Unsolved Mysteries. I'll be like, Peter and Tanya, Best Judy's, walked into Walmart at 2:01 a.m. Tanya took her wallet, Peter took his. Because you can see on the camera footage, they were never seen or heard from again. Tanya would be like, oh my God, don't say that stuff. I'd be like, Tanya Jane. So anyway, but when I started watching them again, I just really wasn't as interested in them as I had been years before. I'm gonna pull to this gas station to go to the bathroom so bad, and then I'm gonna turn around and go listen to my audiobook. So I'm gonna start getting off here now. What is tomorrow, Friday? I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something really fun today. And yeah, do something that will make you happy. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I mean, this is Thursday's vlog, but you're watching it on Friday. So thank God it's Friday. It's Friday. Have fun. Celebrate. Celebration. And in every nation, holiday, celebration, come together in every nation. A little Madonna. Mardonna, as my friend used to want to say that it was called back in the day. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at, make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say, I love you. You are valuable. You are important. You matter. Some days you're not bad looking when you pull it together. And today is going to be an amazing day. And this year, 2020, is going to be an amazing year. And most importantly, I wanted to look this up. See what that girl's name was on it. Every day, celebration. And what else? What was I gonna say? How old is Claire Danes? Why is it only oh, it pulled up Jared Leto instead. He's not as tall as I thought he was. He's 5'11". Oh, there's Wilson Cruz. What's the other girl's name? It won't pull her up. AJ Langer. There she is. Who did she play on? Or did she play Rayanne McGrath? She played Rayanne McGrath. What is she doing now? Oh my God. She's married to Charles Courtenay, who is the 19th Earl of Devon. Who would have ever guessed? She doesn't even look like the same person. Who is... Bess Armstrong, that's the mom. Kelly Cuoco, is she the little sister? I'm almost positive she was the little sister. Sharon, that was her name. Devin Odessa, Sharon Chersky, and then I want to know Oh, Devin Gummersall. Is that Brian Krakow? Oh my god, they would look like the same person. That is so hilarious. What's he doing today? It doesn't say. But who did I want to see what happened to? This is Kelly Cuoco. Who is she? I mean, I know who she is now. Katie Christine Cuoco is an American actress and producer of a series of supporting film and television roles in the late 90s. She landed her breakthrough as Bridget Hennessy on the ABC sitcom 8 Simple Rules, on which she starred from 2000 to 2005. She's been in... Oh, she's in The Big Bang Theory. Okay, can we pull up the Wikipedia? See, I want to see... Hold on a second. So-called life cast. I want to know who she was. Oh, please don't do that again. Okay. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Okay. Cast. Now it's not pulling her up. There were only 19 episodes of the show. It's not Ray McGrath, it's Ray Ann Graff. It was at the end and I didn't even know it. Oh my god, the battery's gonna die. Well, who was she on the show? I'm trying to find out. It doesn't say. She must have been a nobody. It's literally not pulling her up at all in here. Anyway, the battery is done. Oh, here she is, young Angela. She played one episode, 1994. Girl, how did you get in the list? That's so stupid. Anyway, everything else I said before this, I love you guys. If nobody else told you this today, I love you. And do all your positive. I had to change the battery just to end this for like 10 seconds. Anyway. Most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are to you and how much they mean to you. Just pick somebody out that means a lot to you in your life today and say, hey, you know what? I never tell you enough how much I love you and how much you mean to me. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya. I mean, I had to get in one more I love you. I changed the battery, so I love you.